Okay, let's see our new problem here. Say I have already designed a picker file for a rig, and there's a whole bunch of other rigs, but they all use the same rigging tools, rigging systems, and have probably the similar naming conventions. So how to modify this already made picker file to adapt with the new rigs? The skill we use here are pretty the same as the skills I showed in the create picker via template chapter. So you just refer to that chapter for some tools and skills and workflows, but there are actual skills I want to mention in this video tutorial. So the first thing is, for most of the time, if the rig are from the same rigging tool, I mean have the same naming conventions, you can pretty much say switch to the animator mode. You can pretty much select that part of rig and change the namespace, and you can use the picker for the new rig, okay, because they pretty much share the same naming conventions. The first thing you need to do is check out if the picker works if you simply change the namespace. Okay, so if this doesn't work, maybe there's some other thing you need to do. Say I just pick this select button here, and it has a lik hand con. If the hand itself, say this L, before L there's a character name, say there's already a character name input in each controls. Say this node is named with Kayla underscore L underscore IK hand and underscore com. So you have to replace all these Kayla string into our current rigs. Okay, so for this find and replace, you can just use this find and replace features, but it only works for these select buttons, right? So if you want to replace all the killer strings, say to killer string, this will apply to the select button, attribute button, slider, and all the other things like that. So how to do that? You just use this find and replace feature. This is a more advanced find and replace feature that will find all these type of picker buttons and searching for some string and replace with another string. So the target or picker button in this picker file, and if you turn on the search hidden buttons, some buttons are right now hidden by some attribute button, it will be searched as well. And the property, you can search the label which contain a killer will replace B to a killer. So button data is for command button, it's the command, okay, the actual code. If it contain any killer string, it will be replaced to the killer string. So for select button, it's the membership of nodes. So for attribute button, it will be the attribute name and the Maya node name. And if it's the slider, it will also be the node name and the attribute name. Then change command menus, all these that contain a string with, say, killer, and we will replace with killer. Okay, and you have a filter available for filter some types in and off. You can say I just want to replace this text here, and I just turn off all the other types and only replace the strings in a text item. So this is a killer, and the mode, simple, wildcard, or regular expression. Regular expression is can be pretty complicated, so you can just simply stick to the simple wildcard. So you can decide if the search should be case sensitive. We are good for this, and we just replace all. See, the killer is replaced with the killer. So you can use this technique to replace any strings, but you have to be careful. If you say this is a pretty generic string, say if you want to replace it into an LF, make it more, say, RT, you have to be very careful, since say if you check on the command button or attribute button, and because this if string is extremely useful in during the coding process. So if you code in Mail or Python, you type in the if a lot. So if you just simply find if and replace it as RT, it's very dangerous. You may ruin all the command button features. Okay, the good practice is you just only search and replace the strings for a certain type. So another thing you may need to do is maybe replace this background image in here using other snapshots for your rig. So if you don't care about this background image that much, it may be a good idea. You can just use a silhouette image here, and it's abstract enough, so you don't need to actually replace this image. So I got advice for you. If you don't want to spend too many time on Picker, maybe you can just design a generic Picker file and make it apply to all rigs. So the prerequisite for that is that all the rigs you use are using the same rigging tools and in the same naming conventions. So you just use silhouette background image, so you don't need to replace the background image for each character, and you don't need to actually type in any character name here. And for command button, make sure that it's generic enough to apply all the rigs using this rigging tool. So if your nodes are using the same name convention, so hopefully the select button, attribute button, and slider will still works. Another feature I want to mention that would be pretty handy for editing the current picker for the new rig is this select items with existing objects. So you can use this feature to test out all the picker buttons within this picker file. So you just reference that new rig and make sure the namespace has already been changed to that namespace of that new rig, and you can just use this select items with an existing object. This will select any picker button that connect to an Maya node, but that Maya node doesn't exist in your scene. So this we can test out which select buttons or the attribute button or slider no longer valid for this new rig, right? So for a select button, that means it contains the node, and the node we add the picker namespace and the sub namespace to this node, and the result node doesn't exist in your scene. Then this button actually become invalid. So this way it will select for you, so you know what to do next. Maybe delete them, or maybe replace them using this actually new node. For attribute button, if the node or the attribute no longer exists, I mean the Maya node, then it will select that attribute button. For slider, it's the same. If the node and the Maya attribute doesn't exist anymore in this new rig, it will select them.